Hey guys, it's Eric James with Active Bodies. Welcome to the third episode in our series using a suspension trainer and resistance bands for workouts that you can do at home. Today we're going to focus on back. We're going to target the muscles of the lats, the rhomboids, and the lower trapezius with today's workout demo. Now our suspension trainer is from TRX. The resistance bands were purchased from a company called Power Systems. The links to both companies are in the description down below. So let's go ahead and go over the 4 exercises we're going to do today. We're going to start off with a TRX row. Then we're going to do an overhead lat pull down using a resistance band. Then we're going to do a pretty challenging exercise using the TRX called a stiff arm lat pull. And then we're going to finish up with a seated row using a resistance band. So if you're ready to go, let's do it to it. First up is the TRX row. So extend the strap to full length, face the door, lean back. You're going to walk forward, and remember, the further you walk forward, the more you're going to lean back, the more resistance you're going to create in order to do this exercise. Stabilize the shoulder blades, keep your abs tight, make sure your heels are firm into the floor, and maintain a straight line from your shoulders, hips, and heels through the range of motion. You're going to pull yourself up toward the anchor, keeping your elbows in close, and then pinch the shoulder blades at the top of the movement. From there, you're going to descend back down to starting position with control. You're going to continue this exercise for reps. So as you do this movement, keep in mind that it's not about bringing your wrist to your hands and then kind of curling your wrist. It's more about pulling your elbows back as far as the shoulder joint will allow so that you can get a good squeeze on those back muscles with every single rep. So the next exercise is a resistance band overhead pull down. This is a great exercise for hitting the lateral ridge of the latissimus dorsi muscles, aka your lats. So you've got your band, slide your pinkies through the handles. That'll keep the handles from swinging around, smacking you in the arm, or even smacking you in the head as you do this exercise. Place your hands on the bands a few inches apart. Where you place your hands is determined by the resistance level of the band and your strength levels in moving your hands laterally on that band. So take your hands above your head, get a good squeeze on the band, and move your hands out laterally, putting stretch on the band. Now your hands should just barely come outside shoulder width. Maintain that tension as you pull your elbows down below shoulder level, bringing your hands roughly down to the level of your collarbone. Keeping that tension, that lateral tension on the bands, you should be able to get a good squeeze on your lats at the bottom of the movement. Push back up, keeping lateral tension on the band, and continue throughout the set. This is a great exercise for really hitting your lats depending on how much tension you have on that band. Now this next exercise is going to be pretty challenging. This is a straight arm lat pull using our TRX suspension trainer. Setup for this exercise is similar to the suspended row. You're going to extend the strap, face the door, lean back, extend your arms. From here you're going to rotate the palms downward. You're going to hinge at the hip and let your pelvis drop down and backward toward the floor. Your torso will come forward, allowing full extension of the shoulders. Press your heels firm into the floor as you pull on the straps in a downward arc motion. Keep your abs engaged as your body starts to rise toward the anchor. As you're moving up, you're going to extend your hip, bring your pelvis forward as you come to a standing position. Ideally, that's where you want to finish off with your arms vertical and your hands right alongside your hips. With control, you're going to lower back down to starting position, hinging at the hip and going back to extended shoulders. Now, there are a few modifications that you can make in order to do this exercise a little bit easier, but still focusing on solid form. The first thing you can do is raise the level of the strap. The higher the strap, the easier it's going to be. But remember, we want to try and get our hands as close to our hips as possible, because a higher strap means your body is not going to come fully forward. So keep that in mind as you do that. Another modification is to step 1 foot behind and use it as a little bit of a booster to get you started, to get you past the stick point that is usually the tough part at the very beginning of the movement. Focus on your descent to increase your strength levels. And then the last thing you can do is begin the movement by bringing the pelvis forward. Ideally, we want to start this movement with that downward arc with the arms, but if you're not strong enough to do it that way, initiate the movement by bringing your pelvis forward and then allowing your arms to finish off. And again, focus on your descent all the way down to the bottom of the movement. The more you focus on that, the stronger you're going to be. So those are some variations that you can do for this exercise. Now, the final exercise in this episode is a seated row using a resistance band. To do this, you're going to be seated on the floor, place the resistance band across your shoestrings, wrap the handles around the outside of your shoes, bringing them back in through the middle. To increase the resistance, you're going to wrap the handles over the midsection of the band as many times as are needed to give you the resistance that you want for this exercise. Sit up tall, stabilize your shoulder blades, and then rotate the palms facing upward. This will activate the biceps and hit the lower part of the lats as you do the exercise. Pulling backward, make sure you bring those elbows as far back as they can go, pinching your shoulder blades, and then you're going to hold for a 2 count. Slowly go back toward the beginning and repeat for reps. So these are 4 exercises you can do at home to work your back using your suspension trainer and your resistance band. So let's go ahead and put them into a workout. The first exercise is going to be your TRX row. You've got 4 sets here. You're going to start off with 15 reps on your first set, and then you're going to adjust your resistance by walking forward, making it more difficult so that you can only do 10 reps on the next 2 sets. Your final set, the 4th set, you're going to walk backward and go back to 15 reps to finish it off. You've got 75 seconds after each set. The next exercise is going to be the overhead lat pull using a resistance band. You're going to do 3 sets with this exercise. The first 2 are going to be 15 reps. The last one is going to be 10 to 15 reps, only because we're shortening the rest period down to 45 seconds. That last set is going to be a challenge in order to get 15 reps with good form. The next exercise is going to be that stiff arm row using your suspension trainer. You've got 2 sets here. Because this is a very difficult exercise, I want you to focus on form more than just bang out a boatload of reps. So use the modifications if you have to. You're going for 10 reps. Focus on your ability to pull yourself up using straight arms. Again, use the modifications if you have to, but I want you to focus on form with this exercise. And then to finish it off, we're going to do the seated row using a resistance band. You've got 3 sets of 15 reps. Now we're going to increase the challenge with this one because every time you pull back, you've got to hold for 2 seconds. We're also going to ramp it up a little bit more because the rest is only going to be 45 seconds. So that 3rd and final set in this sequence is going to be a burner. So make sure you master the form on all of these exercises. Remember, once you master the form, you can progress on reps and resistance. So that said, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please like and share with all your friends. I really appreciate it. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below or send me a private message. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. So I hope to see you at the next episode. Have a good one, guys.